Good evening, fans, and welcome to another presentation of Thursday Night Thunder presented by PNC Bank. As we look at a live shot of Arm& Hammer Park, my name is John Bodnar, alongside my color guy for tonight, Bryan Rock. Bryan, how are you?
I'm doing great, John. Happy to be on the call tonight with you.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to a lot of fun here at Arm& Hammer Park coming right up after this.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And here we go. Debbie Garcia on the mound for the Trenton Thunder tonight. Big time prospect for the Yankees. Spent some time in Trenton last year before making his way up to the Scranton Rail Riders. Debbie Garcia, number 3 prospect here as we begin this season. Now we're into June, believe it or not. Beautiful night here for baseball. Garcia looks in for tonight's first pitch, and here we go. We take a look at tonight's lineups presented by Hyundai. For the Portland Sea Dogs, leading off and in the box here, we see Luke Tendler. He's playing left field. A pretty solid lineup for the Portland Sea Dogs across the board, highlighted by Josh Tobias, the designated hitter that'll be due up third here in this inning. And Jason Groom taking the mound, and once Groom takes the mound, we'll have a few interesting facts on him, local New Jersey kid. But Bryan, as we start tonight's inning, you've been going into the office quite a bit since we've been in quarantine. So you've gotten to see a lot of the projects going on at Arm & Hammer Park. Tell us a little about what's going on and what the fans can expect to see, as once they come back and once we open the gates here for the 2020 season.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things going on here in Arm & Hammer Park. Anticipating the start of baseball here very, very soon, we hope. But some highlights of some projects in partner with the Mercer County Park Commission. The addition to wall pads in the outside of the outfield. We worked with the county with all new wall pads in the outfield, which is a great investment and addition to Arm & Hammer Park, something we haven't had, and very happy we finally got with the times, so to speak, and have those in the outfield for player safety moving forward. Some other projects are we have all new epoxy throughout the concourse and suite level laid down to help with the slickness during the rain and weather, things like that. So those are a couple great things that fans will sure notice when they enter Arm & Hammer Park come this year. The next biggest thing as we watch, wow, a moonshot here from Josh Tobias, the DH for Portland, puts that one way into right field. A no-doubter, puts Portland up 1-0.
Watched it a little bit too there, a little slow. I think that might come back to bite him a bit later in this one.
Yes, let's see how Devery responds with that, but that was a blast for Tobias, his 4th on the year. But another big thing that fans will notice here at the ballpark this year are all new lights throughout the concourse. They've filled all LED lighting throughout the entire concourse and some of the areas behind the scenes, as the clubhouses and a lot of the player areas will have all new LED lights this season. So that will definitely be a bright spot, you could say, for fans to look forward to when entering the ballpark this season.
No pun intended there, I'm sure. Yeah, Arm & Hammer Park, entering its 27th season. So always love to see the updates that go on as Garcia continues here in the top of the first inning, giving up that home run to Tobias. But a lot of exciting things. Obviously, there was a lot of excitement coming off the championship season, and not to have an opening day scheduled in April was obviously a downer. As the team was ready to come up to Trenton really right before we shut things down. What's something that you're really gonna that you've missed so far with this shutdown?
Miss being just around, first of all, the people in our office and our employees here, as we have our first strikeout from Davey Garcia, and that is a PNC Bank strikeout. But being around the office, being with everybody, a lot of hard work goes into these seasons, and not being able to be with everybody to the start and seeing all these fans come in opening day and throughout the season. We really miss the fans around here, and miss seeing happy and bright faces throughout the ballpark. It definitely is. It's hard for us right now, as it's hard for everybody, and we all will get through it. And we're excited for baseball to be in Trenton.
Yeah, I agree with you. As we go to the bottom of the first here, Jason Groom takes the mound as we present the Thunder starting lineup, as I mentioned before, presented by Hyundai. Bryan, why don't you give us a little rundown of who's in tonight's lineup?
As we see here, Zach Steinert in left field, batting first as he pops out to the catcher. Batting second in right, we have Ben Ruda in the 3-hole in center field. Big prospect for the Yankees, Esteban Floreal, number 6 on MLB's prospect radar for the Yankees. First base, power hitting Brandon Wagner, a Mercer County native and a fan favorite here in the 5-hole second baseman, Hoy Park. Batting 6th and the DH, Chris Gittins. Catching, batting 7th, Francisco Diaz. Batting 3rd, Angel Aguilar. And the shortstop rounding out the bunch, Kyle Holder.
A lot of familiar faces to last year. I think the one that stands out is the guy that you mentioned, Esteban Floreal, a former player of the game in our Thursday night Thunder series. But Floreal was a guy that was, with us back a few years ago for that playoff run, and then constant, seemed like nagging injuries with him that kept him down in Tampa. But definitely an exciting name to look forward to as we hopefully get closer to opening our gates and fans interacting and seeing Floreal play. But as we look up and down this lineup, just a lot of familiar names that were on that championship roster as Ben Ruda strikes out. The championship run last year, none of these guys besides really Floreal are, can't miss prospects. What do you think it was about that team that really put them over the edge to capture the championship run?
Yeah, as we see Floreal here in the box, like you said, a lot of these guys in this lineup, mostly all of them were here for that championship run down the playoffs, and it really just seemed like a special bunch of guys. Through that team, there was never that big top prospect, and I don't think that mattered to them. I think Pat Osborne, the manager last year, did a great job of just putting these guys in the right spot to win on a nightly basis, and timely hitting and a lot of really good pitching, especially out of the bullpen. A lot of good starting pitchers got this team through, and they were kind of like a team of destiny. They've kind of always had it all year long, and they came away in the first half and won the first half, and they just didn't look back. They didn't turn it off really, and they just kept going, and they just played very fundamental and great baseball all year, and and it really showed throughout the playoffs, and it took them to the top. And we're happy to have the Eastern League champions here as Floreal works a walk here in the bottom of the first. And here's Rookie getting the bat. Always good to see our Golden Retriever bat dogs.
That's a nice walk there with 2 outs by Floreal. Good plate presence there as Brandon Wagner steps into the park with a nice 6-game hit streak. Has really been a big-time player here, hitting .282, 11 home runs, 50 RBIs. Wagner, who has struggled a bit during his time here in Trenton, really turning it on here, and hopefully can get some things going as Floreal takes off and takes second easily. Floreal, nice speed there as we take a look at Case's stolen base. Nice jump there by Floreal.
Yeah, definitely just stole that one right off the pitcher. Great jump, even with the lefty. He was going all the way, and it wasn't even close. And a nice steal by Esteban there, getting in scoring position here with 2 away. So hopefully a knock here will get him in, get Thunder right back on the board.
Absolutely, definitely important to respond here for the Thunder early on, giving up a big time shot to off of Devery Garcia. Garcia coming in with as Wagner strikes out. And that'll conclude the first inning here. We go to a commercial break. 1-0 Sea Dogs after 1. We're going to jump ahead now to the bottom of the third as Angel Aguilar takes the box here, hitting .307. Really crushing it so far. And I mentioned at the top of our broadcast here, Bryan, Jay Groom on the mound here tonight as a ground ball hit to the second baseman, easy out there. Jay Groom, originally from Barnegat, New Jersey, went high up in the 2016 draft to the Boston Red Sox, I believe 12th overall. But if you remember correctly, the Phillies had the top pick that year, ended up going with high school product Mickey Moniak. But Jay Groom was definitely a popular choice amongst the locals to go to the Phillies. And time will tell, but Groom putting on a nice show here tonight in Trenton.
Yeah, obviously Moniak has definitely made a name for himself within the Phillies organization. We've seen that as we have a hit into the gap by Kyle Holder, rounding second. He's going to take it for 3. We'll see the relay throw, and he's in there. A 1-out triple by Kyle Holder puts the Thunder in a great position. As you see, the Thunder are 17 triples in entering play today, just 2 behind the Richmond Flying Squirrels. With one out here, we have Kyle Holder on third. Let's see if the Thunder can make some damage. But Mickey Moniak, a big name in the Phillies organization, but the lefty for the Red Sox here at age 21. He's definitely trying to make a name for himself, and through this year has done a good job. So we'll see if that he can work his way up and see himself with Boston maybe at some point this year as Steinert looks at a ball low and in.
And I look at Zach Steinert's shoes here, and I have to think to myself, those are standing out here under the bright lights of Arm & Hammer Park. You can't miss Zach Steinert as he steps into the box and takes a nice hack there. Steinert, a guy that's been up and down in the Yankees organization and a fan favorite over the years, always active and volunteering within the community. Really hope Steinert gets a shot here as he works through to 2-2 on an off-speed pitch.
Yes, those bright yellow New Balances as Steinert pokes one to short. That's going to be a ground out, but a fielder's choice as Kyle Holder comes in to score, and we got a tie ball game here in the bottom of the third. So timely hitting and a NJM Insurance Group first run scored. Kyle Holder on the RBI ground out by Zach Steinert, and the bright yellow cleats getting him through.
It never really had a chance to get Holder at the plate. That was easy as Ruda steps in the box here. Another local product. We mentioned Brandon Wagner earlier, but Ruda from West Windsor, New Jersey, as he steps in here to take a look at what Groom has to offer. And first pitch swinging, grounds it right into the catcher. He throws on the first, and we are done here. Done 3 innings. It's been going by quick. 1-1 as we enter the fourth. As we enter the top of the fourth inning here, Josh Tobias, we remember that solo home run in the top of the first inning. Devery Garcia has definitely calmed down a bit as we, get settled in as he starts off with a breaking ball, just a little bit inside.
Yeah, after that first inning home run, Garcia has battled back, giving up no hits since then, striking out 5 and only 1 walk in the top of the third. So he's definitely dialed himself in. He's really settled down here and really getting himself in a good spot to take the long call. Top of the fourth and with 44 pitches thrown, he's really making himself making it hard for the Portland batters as he's just mowing them down at this point.
Garcia, a guy that, going into spring training had put himself in a position as we see Tobias swing. First baseman Brandon Wagner, nice play there. But Devery Garcia, a guy that has put himself in the talks to be on the Yankees. And, I think this period of time that we're not playing baseball here, might help him out a bit as we get closer to playing baseball. Garcia, during his time with Trenton, really showed, lights out stuff. Struggled a little bit as he went to Scranton, but definitely a guy that can help the Yankees out long term. I know there's been probably numerous calls on him, at trade deadline past to make a move for the Yankees. And Brian Cashman has really stuck to his guns and kept Garcia as he sees him as a long-term starter as we saw with guys like Luis Severino, back in 2015 here with the Thunder. And that one definitely worked out for Cashman, helping the Trenton Thunder capture a ring last year. He was a part of that, that little rehab assignment down the stretch that we had. But Garcia, a guy that definitely has an opportunity to make a big difference at the big league level.
Yeah, a big piece to Brian Cashman in trying to build this Yankees roster for the future, as well as trying to win now. He's been doing a great job of it, and yeah, Devery Garcia is a big piece of that, and his name's always been kind of come up around that trade deadline time and when things are going on, and Cashman has said that he is an untouchable, so to speak, as he K's up right there, a big K. By Devery Garcia with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. But yeah, he's a big piece moving forward for the New York Yankees. Like you said, he was just pure dominance last year down here in Trenton, and it showed it was too much, or it was too easy for him almost at some nights. Struggled a little bit when he got up to Scranton, but hopefully a short period here down in Trenton tunes him up just enough to get him back to Scranton to dominate. And hopefully see him in those Bronx pinstripes real soon.
Absolutely. As we look in here, 0-1 count. Like you said, only 53 pitches here in the fourth inning. Definitely has a chance to go a long haul as he gets the advantage. 0-2 here. Just a bit inside on that 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Garcia, definitely exciting, but the Yankees have just loaded up with pitching, and I think that has been a big strength. That is strike 3, a big strikeout. He strikes out the last 2 batters of this inning, and we move on to the bottom of the fourth, 1-1. Welcome back here to Arm & Hammer Park as we enter the bottom of the fourth. I am John Bodnar alongside Bryan Rock. Make sure you visit the Italian People's Bakery, the pride of Chambersburg. Choose Italian People's Bakery for your home, wholesale, or catering needs. Visit ItalianPeoplesBakery.com for a list of locations in the Mercer and Bucks County regions.
Esteban Floreal here leading off the bottom of the fourth. And as we touched on earlier in the top of the fourth with the Devery Garcia, like I said, his pure dominance here in Trenton, and you talked about his, about the pitching prospects for the Yankees, as their top 10 here is loaded with 6 pitchers here in their top 10. Guys like Devery Garcia, who we have seen, and also Clark Schmidt, who has made a brief appearance with us here at the Thunder last year in that championship run, as Floreal works a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the fourth. But a lot of other guys that we have yet to see and hope to see very soon in Luis Gil, and Luis Medina, two guys that we've heard a lot about over the past couple years in their young age. So, hopefully we'll get to see them this year and keep seeing that Yankees pitching staff grow. They keep just building talent into that as they have a young core of position players up in the Bronx, just trying to turn over that starting rotation and bullpen to a lot of young guys to really put this team in the long haul to be a big competitor for years to come.
Absolutely. And as we talk about prospects, my mind kind of drifts to the big sporting news that took place over the weekend in the NFL draft, which was really the first test as Wagner gets a single in the right field, mishandled by the right fielder out there, throw in, and the Thunder have some things cooking here in the bottom of the fourth. But the NFL draft, obviously in our area, a lot of attention towards the hometown teams of the Eagles and the Giants, and I guess the big news was the Eagles drafting Jalen Hurts, quarterback out of Oklahoma, with the 53rd overall pick, a spot where I guess Eagles fans were hoping for a potential long-term starter and instead got our backup quarterback. But what did you think of the virtual, as we sit here and watch, virtual baseball, what did you think of the virtual NFL draft, and how do you think they did?
I think overall it went over well. We heard a lot of things where the complications and how things could really turn for the worse for the draft is Hoy jolts one to right field, but just foul. It seemed to go over well, and Hoy, that is a Hoy Park 3-run bomb to deep right field, puts the Thunder up 4-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. And wow, John, that was a no-doubter by Hoy Park.
Absolutely, a Hyundai home run from Hoy Park, as it looked like he put it on a balcony of a hotel out there, and there's Tommy hyping up the crowd. We love to see that. We miss Tommy a lot. He was on last week's broadcast here, but that hotel out there in right field, as we see Hoy again, just get a hold of this one, no doubt about it, like you said, and watched it as I think he took note of that Josh Tobias home run in the first inning. A little payback. That would be a tough fixture out there to put it in Trenton, New Jersey. On the Delaware, as we see Groom's reaction, no doubt about it. The frustration from him after working 3 solid innings. But Hoy Park, a large part of that championship run last year, including a steal home in the playoffs, which brought a lot of excitement. And as we turn it over to Chris Gittens here, our designated hitter tonight, the MVP of the Eastern League. Both of those guys, All-Stars. We were both down in Richmond, Virginia for the All-Star game last year, as they put on a great show. And, the unfortunate, last week, the cancellation of the AA All-Star game this year in Binghamton. We know a lot of work that goes into that game. So, our hearts go out to those and our fellow minor league baseball employees working in Binghamton with the disappointing news there. But, the main goal is to get back up and running. As we see 2 arms in the bullpen getting ready as Groom gives up that home run. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We were talking about the NFL draft a little bit and the virtual element of it, and I agree with you. I think it went off really without a hitch. I think we got to see some things that we don't normally get to see. I mean, if our fans could check us out right now, sitting in a little office 6 feet apart as we call this game here in Trenton, New Jersey, as Gittens gets a hold of it, but it's going to be a nice little drops in for a base hit. Chris Gittens misplayed there by the left fielder. That happens in video games sometimes. These guys aren't quite as quick as real life. The 20th double on the year for Chris Gittens as he works off of his MVP season. But as I was saying, you get to see a little bit of the insight to these NFL executives' lives, and we saw a little bit of Roger Goodell as well, interacting and not just being the suit that kind of goes up, it gets booed, and the traditional. So I think there's definitely going to be elements of that virtual draft that we see in 2021 and moving forward.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something to grow on for the NFL and even other leagues to take note. Obviously how we definitely all missed a show with it not being in Las Vegas and how cool that would have been. We've all seen the mock-ups of what the stage would have looked like. Seeing those guys walk down to the stage is obviously something for them they miss being able to do, as we see a strikeout throw out here for Francisco Diaz. Strike him out, throw him out.
Checked on Gittins there to see if he would try to advance, but an easy throw out nonetheless as Angel Aguilar hops into the box here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Groom definitely battling since the Park home run, gave up the double to Gittins, but gets an out there, and that's a nice play by the third baseman. Strong throw to first. Gittins never had a chance to run, and that's 2 away. Nice bounce back from Jay Groom.
Yeah, a great play here as we look at the show track here by Tristan Casas. A great sliding play to his right on the backhand on his glove to pick it up and make a good throw. 83 mile an hour across the diamond to first base. Keeps Gittins at second base to hold the threat for now as Kyle Holder steps in the box. And I think one thing with the NFL draft, a disappointing a little bit for some Eagles fans. Like you mentioned, you have Jalen Hurts going to the Eagles at 53, and some other teams around this area. I think the Giants and even the Jets both had a very good draft and filled some key holes. The Jets taking a page from the Eagles, so to speak, with Joe Douglas moving over to New York. He's done a good job over there, and you can kind of see how he's been groomed from Howie Roseman, filling a lot of holes like they needed to do. Got some good players and picked up a receiver after losing Robbie Anderson this offseason to free agency. So a team to look out for in the AFC East as Kyle Holder grounds out to first here, and that'll do it here in the bottom of the fourth. A look back at the Holy Park 3-run bomb to put the Trenton Thunder up 4-1 as we end the fourth inning. It's 4-1 Thunder over the Sea Dogs.
Now it's time for the refreshing and thirst-quenching Squeeze Play Lemonade Lemon Drop Contest. Take it away, Lisa.
Thanks, Kevin. Hey, Thunder fans, I'm on the first base side for the Squeeze Play Lemonade Lemon Drop Contest. Boomer, get out of the way. I'm here. This side's going to be Team Boomer, and the third base side is going to be Team Cloudman. In 25 seconds, these teams have to try to toss as many lemons into their buckets on their heads, and the winners get free lemonade. Boomer, you guys ready? Cloudman, you ready? On your mark, get set, go! Boomer is helping his team on this side, getting those lemons in the bucket. 1 for Team Boomer, 2 for Team Boomer. Cloudman's team is still going, tossing those lemons. 5 seconds left, guys. 3, 2, 1. Time is up. 4 for Team Cloudman, 2 for Team Boomer. Congratulations, Cloudman. You and your team are the Squeeze Play Lemonade Lemon Drop Contest winners.
Congratulations, you've just won coupons for a free refreshing and thirst-quenching Squeeze Play Lemonade.
Stay on top of the latest breaking news, weather, and traffic with the 6ABC Philadelphia app. The 6ABC app provides the latest local weather and national top stories and breaking news customized just for you. Get more live and on-demand video than ever before, including live newscasts, and choose customized alerts based off your interests. As we enter the top of the 7th, really jumped ahead here, and we saw a pitching change here for the Trenton Thunder.
Yes, Caleb Hort jumping in here in the top of the 7th, which puts an end to starter Davy Garcia's day with 6 full innings, only giving up that 1 home run to Josh Tobias in the first, but bounced back nicely and really held it down. Only a couple hits, looks like 3 hits and 3 walks after that point. Held it down and gives Sosby the ball here. Caleb Hort the ball here in the top of the 7th to help put this one away.
Absolutely, a strong start by Garcia, as you said. And Bryan, after this half inning here, I'm really looking forward to our next guest on the air, Paul Devery. Boomer's best friend, our mascot Boomer, as we just saw him last inning interacting with our Squeeze Play Lemonade contestants. Boomer, obviously a big part of what the Trenton Thunder do and big in the community. I think we all missed the Little League opening days this year that Boomer always attends and just always up to the crazy antics that Boomer gets himself into. definitely one of the things that we've missed. I'm really looking forward to hearing from Paul and talking to him about keeping up with Boomer. I'm sure he's stayed in close contact with him over this time off as we see a ground ball that sneaks through the right side of the infield there. Really no play for Wagner, who has bounced around the infield quite a bit. With his playing third, first. We've seen him across the diamond in different spots, but like I said, really looking forward to hearing from Boomer as we go to the bottom of the seventh and the rest of this game. Paul, a long time game day employee here with the Thunder, and it's going to be exciting to hear what he's had going on.
Yeah, I can't wait to have Paul on the air. We've got to know him very well over the past couple of years as we've worked here, and Paul, a great guy, and being Boomer's best friend is no easy task. We know what Boomer can be up to, not just here at the ballpark, but on his own time. We see him in his crazy things as we see a single up the middle, runner will hold at second, and the Portland Sea Dogs here are threatening with runners on first and second, and no outs as Caleb Orr in a little bit of trouble here to start the seventh. Those crazy antics that Boomer gets into, and we've seen him over the winter and pictures of him going sledding and snowboarding and even trying to stay warm, and we've seen him in the hot tub a few times. I don't know what Boomer's doing outside of Arm & Hammer Park, but hopefully Paul can reel him in a little bit and give us a little update on what our big blue Thunderbird friend has been up to during this quarantine.
Absolutely, and it must be nice for Boomer to have his own personal photographer around. And I'm going to ask Paul about that, how he feels about constantly taking Boomer's photograph and all these different things he's doing, and not really getting to partake himself, it doesn't seem like all too often, but definitely looking forward to hearing from Paul Devery in the bottom of the seventh and throughout the rest of this game. As we see a 4-1 Thunder lead with 2 on and nobody out in a 2-1 count. This is the point in the game, Bryan, as we've been in numerous times, that as a minor league baseball employee that can work a 12, 13, 14-hour day here, you feel pretty safe with a 4-1 lead going into the seventh. But then these base runners start to creep on, and as we see, another ball here, so we'll get to a 3-2 count. This is the time in the game where we're up on the concourse, everything's kind of settling in, the fans are all in their seats, and looks like a base hit here. Oh, a diving stop, and he can't get it, and that is not going to score a run, though. However, we'll only see the runners move up to third and second. But now its bases loaded with nobody out, and that causes some trouble. And we'd be up at the top of the concourse watching this game, and with a little bit of worry.
Yeah, we as many of us know, these long hour days, you get into this as a ground ball to first. Wagner will go to second for 1. Back to Ort covering at first base 2. A run will score, cuts the Thunder lead down to 2. But a much needed double play from Caleb Ort. We have 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Great play by Wagner to corral it, get it over to shortstop Kyle Holder, and a awesome play for Caleb Ort to get over, cover the bag. That's when those PFPs by the pitchers really come to play. And here we have lefty Trevor Lane coming out of the bullpen here with 2 away. We try to close this inning out and get the Thunder bats going here in the bottom of the 7th. But like you said, John, these days are long for us, and to get into these types of situations, and you see a nice lead and you feel good, and you think you're in the home stretch, and you get a couple runners on, and you start to sweat a little bit. We've been here many years together, and we've seen some long games. I believe my record here is the big 18-inning game a few years back, and wow, I mean that went past midnight, close to 1 a.m. A real late one for the Thunder that night. I couldn't count the amount of hours. It was well over 15 that we spent that day at the ballpark.
For sure, and that's one of those things that you're really not going to see a whole lot anymore with the new rules that were put in place a couple of years ago with the runner starting on second to start extra innings. And that some people might say it takes the true feel out of a game, but I know minor league employees across the industry were thankful to see a rule like that, as it's a 3-1 count here. Lane comes in, you know, the rule I think coming out of the bullpen is to throw strikes, and we see a walk here as Lane's first batter. But Trevor Lane was another one of those Eastern League All-Stars last year that, you know, really helped again to help that team and really accomplish in sending, I believe we sent 5 guys to the All-Star game last year, which, you know, not super common. You know, usually the home team, you know, is going to see their fair share of All-Stars, but to send 5 guys was definitely, you know, a great thing, as we see a ground ball to short and an easy throw out, and that will conclude the 7th inning. We go into the middle 7th as we stand up and stretch out for the 7th inning stretch.
Please stand and help us honor the United States of America with Sean Gardino's performance of God Bless America.
Fans over 18 in Section 105 Row K are getting New Jersey Lottery loose change tickets. Good luck and start scratching. And now, Thunder fans, get up, stretch out, and sing along with the Steinert High School and Reynolds Middle School choirs to Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's drop. Yeah. Come on.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Thunder here on the Thunder social media channels, presented by PNC Bank. Pitching here in the bottom of the 7th, new pitcher Andrew Schwab, a former Thunder a couple years back. Andrew Schwab, he's on the hill tonight right now for the Portland Sea Dogs in the bottom of the 7th. And I would like to throw it over to John Bodnar, introduce our new guest taking us out for the rest of the game. Go ahead, John.
Thanks, Brian. We are welcomed here in the booth, as we alluded to in the top of the 7th, by Paul Devery, a longtime member of our Trenton Thunder front office staff, and also happens to be our mascot Boomer's best friend. Paul, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Great to see baseball back here.
Absolutely. We've definitely missed it. Brian and I have been talking about it throughout the game, just how much we miss it, miss you, and definitely miss Boomer. So tell us, how is our blue friend doing?
He's doing well. He's trying to stay in shape. We're trying to keep his weight down for obvious reasons, but he's doing well. We're trying to keep him away from some of his favorite snacks and limit him. But he's hanging out in his nest at the stadium, doing some workouts, and just can't wait to see the crowds return to the stadium.
That's awesome. As a fly out to right field there as we start this inning. Yeah, I know that the quarantine has definitely been tough. You know, not a whole lot of getting outside and staying active. So it's good to hear that, you know, Boomer's staying in shape as Kyle Holder flies out to right field, too quick out in this inning. But Paul, how about you? How are you doing? And what have you been up to in this time?
You know, it's you know, watching over Boomer, making sure that he's safe, making sure that he's doing the things, social distancing, and you know, making sure that he's ready to go when the season restarts.
That's great. As we have a ground out in a quick inning here, the Thunder go down 1-2-3, and that's our inning. We'll be right back to Thursday Night Thunder, presented by PNC Bank, right after this. welcome back to Thursday Night Thunder, presented by PNC Bank, another pitching change, as Brandon Restro takes the mound here in the top of the 8th inning. Paul, we were, catching up about Boomer here, and, during this time, we asked fans on social media to submit their questions for Boomer. So to kick us off for the first question, a fan wanted to know, what is Boomer's favorite ballpark food?
Oh, well, there's a lot of them, but I would say our good buddy Boomer loves a Thunder Dog. Thunder Dog with relish and mustard. He usually puts down a few before each game.
That's definitely a ballpark favorite, and for our fans that don't know what the Thunder Dog is, that is a hot dog with pork roll and cheese. And you can get it at our Cases pork roll stand, as well as the grill down the first base line. Definitely a staple and a fan favorite, from our fans throughout the time at Armenheimer Park. Another question we had here is what Boomer likes to do in his typical spare time. Obviously, we know he's been working out a lot, but from day to day, what does Boomer like to get into?
What does Boomer do? Well, Boomer likes to read, actually. And he likes to read and stay up on things, but he also likes to spend time along the river fishing. And there's been a couple times where Boomer's actually been out on a boat fishing in the river with fans have come by, and Boomer's jumped on board and gone out into the river itself.
Yes, and Bryan and I were talking earlier as we see Tobias single to left field there. Bryan and I were talking about the different pictures that'll pop up on the Trenton Thunder social media channels from time to time of, in the off season, Boomer sledding and Boomer in the hot tub. Tell us what it's like to get a firsthand view of Boomer doing all these crazy things throughout the off season.
Yeah, Boomer likes to stay active, that's for sure, and he likes to be around people. So, he's been spotted in hot tubs. He's been spotted up on the roof of a house delivering packages with Santa Claus. So he's just a fun-loving bird that wants to be around people and wants to do good. So you often will find Boomer at hospital visits and visiting schools, putting smiles on faces. And that's what Boomer's really looking forward to once this baseball starts up again, to give people hugs, to make people smile. That's what Boomer misses the most, to be quite honest with you.
Definitely. I was telling Bryan earlier, the month of April is a kickoff to a lot of Little League opening days, and Boomer has been a staple, over the past 27 years of being active and out at those opening days, something that we missed this year and look forward to getting back to. As a ground ball here to the pitcher, the throw to first is too late, and Portland putting together a little bit of a rally here in the top of the 8th inning as it's 4-2 Thunder, but there's runners on first and second. A tough inning here seems so far as two are warming in the Thunder bullpen. Bryan, we talked a little bit earlier about, just the stress that comes to these type of late innings and what the effect that it has on the pitching staff here. And we're definitely seeing it here in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, a good start for Portland here in the top of the 8th. A hard hit ball from Tobias to get on base, and just kind of you would say a swinging bunt here is a big shot. That is a no-doubter. A 3-run home run for Jarren Duran, the right fielder, is going to put Portland up ahead right now in this ballgame 5-4. A tough start for Brandon Bristow to start this top of the 8th, and it's not a good look for the Thunder right now, but the bats have been swinging, so hoping for a comeback here, but a big shot from Duran here in the top of the 8th to put the Thunder on board.
That was a deep shot to right field there, and Portland once again, with the excessive celebration that I don't think that the Thunder fans are taking a liking to, as he watches this moonshot go out, and Ben Ruda in right field didn't even move. I mean, this one, we saw a deep shot from Hoyt Park earlier in this game, but this exit velocity of 101 really gets out there, and pitcher unhappy, right fielder unhappy, and we're going to have a pitching change here as we keep going along. So, Paul, not bringing the best of luck here for the Thunder as we now trail 5-4. But let's get back to hear more about Boomer and what's been going on. Obviously Boomer has seen a lot of players go through Trenton and been able to, have fun with a lot of the guys as they have spent some time here in Double A. Tell us, who are some of Boomer's favorite players that have come through the system?
Well, some of the favorite that come to mind are Lou Merlone, who was a Red Sox farmhand, and then Aaron Judge, just true gentlemen through and through. And these are people who went into the community, helped out, realized that they were more than baseball players in the city of Trenton, and really took it upon themselves to go out there and help out others, and just true gentlemen. Tony Clark, another one. When I think of Aaron Judge and I think of Tony Clark, two gentle giants. Oh, man. Tony Clark, I remember sitting along the first base side and signing whether the Thunder had won or lost for an hour after games. And to see the faces of little children being shown a little attention by someone like Tony Clark and Aaron Judge is just incredible. But Lou would go out in the community, Lou Merlone, and help out in so many ways. So those are three that really come to mind to me.
That's great to hear. Obviously, the Trenton Thunder pride themselves in what we do in the community. That includes our front office staff, Boomer, Boomer's best friend, as we have here, Paul Devery, on the call with us here tonight as the Trenton Thunder trail 5-4 in the top of the eighth. It's great to see every week or every year the Trenton Thunder participate alongside of all the other Yankee affiliates in Hope Week, and Boomer has gotten a chance to participate in a lot of those activities as a big strikeout here for the Thunder, as we now see two away here in the top of the eighth, excuse me. Boomer's gotten to participate in a lot of community activities, and that's a large part of why we've been able to put on such a great show over the past 27 years.
Oh, I would agree. One of the things I'm the most proud of being with the organization for the last 27 years is the fact that how much we do in the community. And the front office is fabulous. The things that community relations does, the 50-50s we do each and every game, just going out and supporting, rebuilding ball fields, helping out at orphanages, going out and just doing whatever we can possibly do to make the Trenton community a better place for all of us. And I'll really, that really is what hits home to me. It's fun being out there, seeing all the antics that Boomer does, but being able to give back to people who are in need is just a blessing. So I can't say enough about the Trenton Thunder family and everything that they do in the community.
Yeah, definitely great to hear, and we definitely miss Boomer at the ballpark. We miss all of our fans for sure, and we can't wait to open our gates back up and celebrate the great game of baseball as we go 3-2 on this batter. Trenton Thunder really need to get out of this inning now, trailing 5-4, and that pitch is swung on and hit to right field. Ruda tracking it down, and a nice grab there, and that concludes the top of the eighth inning. I'm John Bodnar. I have Bryan Rock, Paul Devery in the booth. We'll be back right after this. Another pitching change for Portland as we go to the bottom of the eighth inning. Tonight's presentation of Thursday Night Thunder, presented by PNC Bank. We saw the Thunder lose their lead in the top of the half of the inning, and now look to strike back with some late inning heroics here. Alongside Bryan Rock. Bryan, we've enjoyed a great game here tonight. We're now joined by Paul Devery, Boomer's best friend. But it's time to get a little rally going as we see a bunt foul down the third base line. Bryan, tell us what you liked from the Thunder tonight.
Yeah, the Thunder bats have definitely been working quite a bit. We've seen a couple base hits here and there. A big home run by Park, that three-run home run back in the fourth inning. And the bats haven't been quiet, which is a good scenario here for the Thunder. They've made their work here against Portland, so a comeback is definitely in the cards for them. as they look to rally here in the bottom of the eighth.
Absolutely. A 1-2 count here as the new pitcher looking to get a strong start here and shut down Trenton. And that's a strikeout from Ruda. So one away here in the bottom of the eighth. And we'll go back to our special guest, Paul Devery, who is Boomer's best friend and has been for many years. So, Paul, tell us about, one of the exciting things is seeing on Boomer's birthday all the mascots that get together. So tell us, who are some of Boomer's, best friends amongst the mascot community?
Oh, it's always fun to see all the mascots who come out for the birthday party in May. And, you've come to know a lot of these individuals. It's really a fraternity. It's very unique in the things that are done as mascots. And just some of the great ones that we've seen come through in the past, the Philly Fanatic. Recently some of the newer mascots that have come on the scene as well, but just minor league and major league mascots, we're all one and the same, and we want to entertain and make people happy. Casey Wolf was a mascot that came to one of Boomer's very first birthdays, and I was happy for Dan this year to be able to finally get his Super Bowl ring. So Casey Wolf is up there, the Philly Fanatic, Rocky in Wilmington with the Blue Rocks. But there's so many great mascots out there that have such a love for what they do and a passion. It's really about passion. People often talk about the heat and how hot it gets. But when you have passion and love for what you do, you battle through that heat and you realize that you can have a positive impact on people's lives. And Boomer has certainly made millions of people smile over the years, and looks forward to seeing people back at the ballpark. I mean, like I said earlier, Boomer misses the fans, misses the interaction. Boomer recently said that when everybody returns to the ballpark, he's going to give each and every one of them a huge Boomer hug and give them a high five, take pictures with them. That's what Boomer does, and he makes a difference. And if it's a 5-second handshake or a hug, that could be the difference in someone's day.
Absolutely, and we've seen the impact that Boomer has on, members of the kids clubs as we see Brandon Wagner single to center, and that's back-to-back hits for the Trenton Thunder, and they have something going here in the bottom half of the inning, looking to answer on Portland's big top half of the inning. But yeah, as you mentioned, Paul, it's great to see Boomer interacting with our fans. He's always dressed in his tux on opening night and has celebrated, millions of fans that have come through our gates as Hoy Park steps into the box. It's great to see, Boomer doing his thing, and we definitely miss it. But we are excited to get back, and what we've been doing here with these virtual baseball games has been really exciting, and hopefully some late inning here as Hoy takes that one deep to right field again. Hoy Park has just put the Trenton Thunder back on top with his second 3-run home run of the game. Brian Rock, we have now seen Hoy Park hit 2 3-run shots in this game. Not your prototypical home run hitter, but it seems to be going here tonight, his 11th of the season.
Yeah, the small, speedy middle infielder for the Thunder has shown his big power tonight. Like you said, 2 3-run home runs, and both of them just absolute no doubters. Probably dialing up about 800 feet of fly ball tonight for Hoy Park. He is he's been the Trenton Thunder tonight with 6 RBIs to this point. He's put the Thunder in a good spot to take this home. As we see a pitching change here for the Portland Sea Dogs with Chris Gittens coming up to bat here.
Now, Chris Gittens, if you had told me somebody was going to have 2 3-run bombs tonight, I would have guessed it was Chris Gittens. But instead, it's Hoy Park, who is a favorite amongst our season ticket holder group. I can hear it as Hoy was rounding the bases, the hoy 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 with the cowbells. As we see a pop up here from Gittens, that would be 2 away. But we definitely miss all of our season ticket holders, and what they're able to provide as we talk about Boomer in this inning. our season ticket holders bring the ballpark to life as well. And Paul, with you working, on our game day staff for all these years and being Boomer's best friends and making relationship with these season ticket holders, tell us more about like what they mean to Boomer.
Yeah, the season ticket holders are really like my second family. They really are. I've grown up. A lot of these children that were babies are now off to college, have their own families. It's incredible. I mean, I walk into the stadium and I talk to different people, ask them how they're doing. You've been through so much with these folks that have been with us for the last 27 years. You've been at celebrations. You've also been at times when that were upsetting and sad times. But Boomer tries to make a difference in all aspects of people's lives and, celebrate with them the great times, but also he's there a lot of times when things aren't going as well. So he's just around, but the season ticket holders mean a great deal to the Thunder family and, of course, to Boomer being part of that family.
Absolutely, and we're excited to get back with everybody, all of our Thunder Makes members, as we enter the top of the ninth here in a pitching change. We see our closer Brooks Kriske brought on here, who's having a great year on the mound. 24 saves and 26 opportunities. Bryan, what do you like out of Kriske?
Yeah, Kriske can do it all. He's got the fastball as well as the off speed, as he spoils one there way outside, trying to get a swinging a far out swing there, but in a 2-0 count here for Portland's leadoff hitter in the top of the ninth here. But yeah, Kriske has the stuff to get it done. We've seen it last year, all last season. Throughout the late end of the season and into the playoff, Kriske a big provider out of that bullpen going into this year, as he gets a pop out here to right field to Ben Ruda, and that'll be one away here.
So, as you mentioned, one away here in the top of the ninth. Thunder leading 7-5 after Hoy Park's 3-run home run in the bottom of the eighth inning. Paul, we want to thank you for joining us today. I guess as the Thunder look to close this one out here, what's the message that Boomer wants to say to all of our Thunder fans that are listening here with us tonight?
Yeah, I would just say on behalf of Boomer, we want you to stay safe. We're thinking about you. We can't wait to have you back at the ballpark. But we're all going to get through this. The key word is hope. And we're all going to have hope that this thing is going to come to an end. And we'll see everybody back at the ballpark real soon, smiling and rooting on the Trenton Thunder to another victory.
Absolutely. And hopefully another championship season as we saw our Thunder take home the crown last year, and a ground out there from Tendler. And now there's 2 outs here. Kriske's staring down. What we hope is the final batter, a ball low in the dirt there, 1-0. So the Thunder really rallied here tonight after giving up the lead in the top of the eighth, struck back Hoy Park with a 3-run home run, and Brooks Kriske on to close this one out, struggling here again, falling behind 2-0, fell behind the last batter 2-0 as well, but was able to battle back and get that ground out, and as now we look for that last out here in the top of the ninth and seal the deal for the Thunder. The pitch home, and that is a fly out to left field. And folks, that's all we have here tonight. The Thunder taking home an exciting game here, 7-5. Paul, thank you so much for joining us here for a couple innings. We miss you. We miss Boomer. Give him our best, and everybody from the Thunder front office misses him. We appreciate you coming on with us tonight.
Thank you.
The Trenton Thunder take home this game here 7-5 behind Hoy Park. 2 3-run home runs, giving the Thunder the edge. An exciting one here from Arm & Hammer Park. He is our player of the game. Bryan, always great to be with you. Thanks so much. I'm John Bodnar signing off. Thank you for tuning in Thursday Night Thunder, presented by PNC Bank.